The reviews for Dragon Age the Veilguard are out, and they're about as fake as you can possibly imagine. Out of the reviewers, only the most pathetic of shills were given codes, with everybody else being labeled by EA as a risk because they want to show their leadership those high Metacritic scores and pretend the game is a masterpiece. They flew these people for the preview, but because EA didn't like their videos, no early codes for them. It looks like we were right about pretty much everything all along. Screenshots and videos of the dialogue have leaked online. In these conversations, characters talk about top surgery scars, what's your opinion about it, it looks good, I'm trying to live up to that, scars are lesson learned, my scars are badges of honor, these scars are sexy, non-binary I just said, and I'm gonna use they instead of she from now on. Wow, what a load of garbage. The game even has a dedicated section for the conversation called Gender Identity Options and Scar Options, and with enough dialogue lines, you can establish transgender identity and unlock new dialogue options in future conversations. You can come out as trans and tell your companions to call you a different pronoun. You don't even have the option to disagree with all of this woke nonsense. All of the dialogue is very bland, there's no conflict, all of the lines sound the same and most of the time have the same outcome. Nobody raises their voice apparently, the romances are pathetic. Gone are the days of the friendship and rivalry system where if you liked someone you could agree with what they had to say and romance them, but if you didn't like what they had to say you could disagree with them until they would change their mind and then you could romance them. The gameplay is not difficult but it's tedious because it takes forever to kill anything unless you play on easy mode. The characters all look comically bad and people from the previous games are almost unrecognizable. The biggest problem, however, is the Kunari, which look really bad. How do you go from the Arashok, an almost 8-foot guy with 2 big weapons, the leader of the Kunari military branch, a tall beast, to these humans with plastic-like horns pretending to be warriors? I mean, look at this guy. He looks like he just got a lobotomy. Skill Up surprisingly ripped the game to shreds. He doesn't give games actual scores, by the way, but said something that stuck with me. Every interaction between the companions sounds like HR is in the room, and I think that describes the whole conversation system in the entire game. Everything in this game is a joke. The world is about to end, and every character is acting like they are playing a tabletop game. It is one thing to make jokes to cope with tragedy, and a completely different thing to just joke about everything like there's no danger. I swear to God, the Marvel movies ruined an entire generation of writers. The Dragon Age universe is dark. Remember how the Darkspawn crucified King Kaelin's naked body after they killed him? Or how demons corrupt mages with blood magic? Or how becoming a Grey Warden involves drinking Darkspawn blood that can kill you most of the time? Or how the Grey Wardens live very short lives and when their time comes, they go to the deep roads and fight Darkspawn until they die? Or what the Darkspawn do to women to make them into broodmothers? The whole lack of seriousness made me think about the first hands-on preview video IGN released a while ago, and the person playing the game meets Solus, and she says she chose a more sarcastic and humorous approach while talking to him.
For example, my first confrontation with Solus, aka Fen'Harel, aka the Dreadwolf. I chose a more sarcastic, humorous approach with him.
These are the people this game is made for. Fake fans who don't care about the actual game but only care about politics, activism, and playing around with different genders and pronouns. Well, they can have it because I'm definitely not gonna buy it. The whole tone of the game is very childish, like a program created to teach children about genders and wokeness. The puzzles are very challenging and complex. Solus is not the main bad guy. In the Trespasser DLC, he betrays you, and as he leaves to remove the veil, which will get a lot of people killed, you have this sad music in the background. You can say, "I'll stop you," and then the game sets you up for a potential revenge story.
Share the chance to be wrong once again, my friend. Take my hand. I'm sorry. Live well, while time remains.
But now there are two other gods who are also the bad guys, and they are very generic and completely take the focus away from Solus. And that's why they changed the name of the game from Dreadwolf to Veilguard. I know that every Dragon Age game had a different protagonist, but in this case it would make more sense to play as the Inquisitor to get revenge on Solus for betraying you. Instead you have this Rook character who has nothing to do with that personal stuff that happened between the Inquisitor and Solus. You can't even import your saves from the previous games anymore. In Inquisition, you could build your character using the Dragon Age Keep website, so you still had those choices from Origins and Dragon Age 2 imported into the game. But now all that is gone, and I think it will make a lot of fans feel disconnected from Dragon Age the Veilguard. A studio is not about its name, it's about its people, and those people left BioWare a long time ago. What you see now is nothing but a rotting corpse trying desperately to reanimate itself and failing horribly. I don't think there is one straight man working at this company. The only good thing about this game is that now we know the next Mass Effect game is going to absolutely suck, so we get to save some money. Gaming journalism is completely dead. All you have now is a bunch of woke parasites who would do anything to get an early copy. You can see this in their reviews, they're basically telling on themselves right in the titles. Dragon Age the Veilguard review, the best BioWare game I've ever played. Dragon Age the Veilguard is a triumphant return to form for one of gaming's most loved developers. It's an epic and grandiose RPG adventure, interwoven with intimate, powerful stories about its cast of endearing and quirky companions. Dragon Age the Veilguard is a triumph for BioWare in practically every way. It brings together the best bits of all the games that have come before it, pairing an intricately woven narrative ripe with genuine choice and consequences with a fast, frantic, and endlessly satisfying combat system. Dragon Age the Veilguard is exactly what we needed after Inquisition. Dragon Age the Veilguard is a must-have RPG this holiday season. There is so much that Veilguard brings to the table that it's hard to find something to dislike. What? Veilguard is a complete package that gives you everything you could ever wish for in an action RPG and is without a doubt a return to form for BioWare. Dragon Age the Veilguard feels like it ticks almost all my boxes. It's fun, it's grippy, it's cheeky. There are steamy moments, there are freaks. Oh my god, really? A fantastic role-playing game with action-packed battles, lots of exploration potential, great characters, an incredible amount of lore, and epic stories. Here's IGN, a reinvigorating sequel for the series that leaves no doubt about its place in the RPG pantheon. 9 out of 10.
As a non-binary person myself, Veilguard includes some of the most authentic representation of coming to terms with general gender stuff, and having to navigate your family's reaction to it I've yet to see in a game. If we never get another Dragon Age, at least it got to go out on a high note.
Even reviewers who gave it a lower score had to act like they're apologizing for it. All said, none of my complaints detract from the fact that the Veilguard is a mostly sound game that works when you're playing as a class that can take advantage of its combat. 7 out of 10, review in progress. A return to form in the title. Now, if you read most of these reviews, you will find the phrases a return to form for BioWare, or BioWare is back, or this is BioWare's Mass Effect 2 moment. This looks very suspicious. It's like they all agreed to use these words, or they were told to use them in their reviews. I wouldn't be surprised if the latter was true. Look, I know this game will probably sell enough copies. When your fan base acts like this, you're gonna sell a bunch of copies.
Thank you so much for the extended cut. Thank you for giving me my last moment with Kaden. Thank you so much.
But it's going to leave a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, and it's going to make BioWare even worse or not even exist in the long run. BioWare deserves to die. It's time to accept reality and move on. You can still play the old games and have fun, but if you expect anything good from this company, you are deluding yourself. Don't buy this game, don't buy this garbage, avoid it like the plague, at least wait until launch so other people can get their hands on the game and post some gameplay. And never forget, these companies hate gamers. They hate you. Don't give your money to people who hate you. The scores are a lie. The original trailer was right.